Hey everybody, welcome back to a new video. Today we are looking at a brand new 12-volt compressor fridge on the channel. This is the SetPower PT55. Now this is a dual zone offering, and I love that it's affordable and has a really good build quality. You have this nice metal area in the middle. You have a plastic tub on the bottom and plastic lids on the top that are insulated. And I like that the lid is split down the middle, so you can open up each zone individually, and it allows you a lot of flexibility. For example, there's a small zone and a large zone, and you can set the temperature anywhere between 0 and 50 degrees for each one. So you can run it as a dual freezer, a dual fridge, or you can set a freezer and fridge on either side. So if you have a larger family or you're going on a larger trip, you'll want to go with the PT55 so you have plenty of space. If you have a little bit smaller of a family, if you're going out for just a weekend, the 45 will do just fine. And if you're just going out solo, the PT35 would just be a great size for one person. Now in the rest of the video, we're going to jump into testing that I did on this. I have over 100 hours of testing. We test efficiency, we test the temperature accuracy inside, and I tested 2 different temperature levels so you guys can decide if this fridge is going to be a great option for you or not. Let's go ahead and jump right into it. Now one of the first things that I do when I get these fridges is I tear them down to see what compressor they're using inside. Now this has the Huawei DL19H compressor. This is just like the fridge in your house, except for it runs on DC power, so it's very efficient. Now SetPower offers a 3-year warranty on this, so you should have confidence when you purchase this product. Now let's go ahead and take a look at the inside to see both of the zones. So you have a small zone and a large zone. Now the inside is lined with metal for added efficiency, and on the bottom you have a plastic liner, so if you happen to drop something, it's not going to dent the fridge. Now you do have a LED light for each individual zone, so you can definitely find the food you're looking for in the dark. And if you look at the lids, they have a really nice rubber gasket here. Usually it's been foam in the past, so SetPower has upgraded that to be rubber, which will give you a much better seal. And these lids are insulated. They have the insulation plugs. Now I've gone ahead and filled up the smaller zone so you guys can see what fits inside. You can see I have a 1-gallon jug of milk with a little bit of room on the side over here, and it's probably about 2 inches before it hits the top. Now I also have cans stacked up, so 2 high here. You can see I can't quite fit 3 side by side. One is a little bit offset. So that's an idea of what fits in the smaller zone on this fridge. Now just to give you guys an idea of what you can fit in the large zone on the fridge, I have my gallon of milk down here in the corner. I have 3 soda cans stacked up high. There's not room for a 4 soda can here. You can fit 4 soda cans this way and 4 soda cans this way. So this zone is much larger than the other one. Now the PT55 has 2-inch thick walls, so lots of insulation. We'll be talking about the performance numbers and the efficiency a little bit later here in the video. But right now I want to talk about the actual accuracy of the temperature on the inside versus what you get on the control panel. So what I did is I purchased 2 Bluetooth thermometers. I put 1 in each zone, and for a long period of test I had this set to 36 degrees and the small zone set to 5 degrees. And looking at the results, the average temperature for the large zone was 36.2 and the average temperature for the small zone was 7 degrees, so very close to the set point. So we do have accurate temperatures versus what you have on the control panel. Now to make sure that your fridge is going to be accurate, I always recommend picking up one of these refrigerator thermometers, and it just gives you an idea of what the actual temperature is on the inside so you can adjust it, because all these fridges will be a little bit different, but this one behaved really well. So the inside design of this fridge is very simple. Now it is lacking drain plugs and it doesn't have included baskets, but those are kind of premium features. Now looking at the lid and latch design, I like that it's split. Now I've noticed this lid snaps down really easy. This one, not so much. So this is, you have to kind of give it a little whack on the corner, and then this one snaps down. So probably a pre-production misalignment here. I'm guessing that they'll work that out on future models. Now for the handles, you have 2 durable handles. This is a metal grip design, and even when this is fully loaded down, I've never worried about this kind of warping or ripping off. I've had that issue with some other fridges in the past, but very durable handles here. Now looking at the control panel on the front, let's go ahead and do a demo to show you guys how to use the fridge. Now this is the control panel for the PT55. Now it's a dual zone fridge, so you have 2 different zones that you can control. This is for the left one and this is for the right one. Now right now it's showing the internal temperature on each zone. You can see this one's 32 degrees inside and this one is 30 degrees. Now if you want to change the temperature, you can just push up and down on the actual buttons here. You can see this one's set at 34 degrees And then we can change this one. This one's set at 32 degrees. Once it stops flashing, it'll go back to showing the internal temperature again. Now there is an indicator light on the top to let you know if that one is currently cooling down. Right here you have your battery protection settings. You can push the set button and hold it down, and it goes from medium up to high, back to low. I leave this on low usually. And you can adjust the compressor speed. Pressing this set button will go from max mode back to eco or min mode. Eco mode spins the compressor at a lower RPM, so it uses less power. You can turn on and off the fridge by pushing and holding this on and off button. Now what's really cool is this has a lot of flexibility. You can set either side to be the freezer, or you can set them to be the same temperature. Now right now I want to go ahead and jump into power consumption numbers and efficiency for the PT55. Now I did 4 different tests, each one was 24 hours long. I first did the 2 tests at 70 degrees ambient, where both were set to 36 degrees. And then I did another test where one side was set to 36 and the other side was set to 5. And then I put this into a closet with a heater so I could simulate a warmer temperature. It was around 85 to 90 degrees in that closet, and I did the same test. So 4 different tests over 24 hours each. Let's go ahead and jump into these numbers. Now to make this simple, I'm going to put a graph up on the screen. So on the left-hand side, you see the 70 degree ambient test. There's 2 of them. The single refers to where this is all set to 36 degrees. So during that test, it pulled 330 watt hours over a 24-hour period, and it averaged around 14 watts. Now stepping it up to the dual zone, where one side was set to 36 degrees and the other side was set to 5 degrees, it pulled 530 watt hours, or an average of 22 watts. So that's what happened at 70 degrees. Now when I put this in the closet with the heater, let's go ahead and look at those numbers. 85 degree ambient, it pulled 620 watt hours over a 24-hour period, or an average of 26 watts. And it pulled 810 watt hours, or an average of 34 watts when I had it set to a fridge freezer combo at 85 degrees ambient. So just keep in mind, the hotter it is on the outside of the fridge or the ambient air, the more the compressor is going to have to run and the more power it's going to pull. So 85 degrees pulled more power than 70 degrees. So if you're running this in 100 degree weather, it's definitely going to pull more power. Now the compressor and fan on this fridge are fairly quiet. When this was running on eco mode, I pulled out my sound meter and measured 51 decibels right up next to the compressor, and this is what it sounded like. Now this is what comes in the box if you purchase the fridge that comes with the AC to DC wall adapter. So you get that to power off AC power. Every fridge comes with a DC power cable with a 12-volt cigarette plug. You get a user manual and a warranty card. Now, if you're interested to see how this fridge compares against other fridges I've tested on the channel, you can see my fridge comparison chart. It's part of my power station grading system. I'll include that link down in the video description, so click on that if you want to see how other fridges compare. Now, it's a beautiful spring day outside, so I thought I'd show you guys how this works in my truck. So there's multiple ways to run a fridge like this. Currently, I have it connected up to my starter battery and alternator via these ports I have at the back. I ran 6-gauge cable all the way back to this area on my truck. It's a fused line, and it allows me to access the starter battery. So when I'm driving on a road trip, I can connect the fridge in the back of my truck. Now, the only downside to this is that if you let the fridge run too long without charging your battery, you can kill your starter battery, or the battery protection settings will actually shut off the fridge. So I don't really advise to run off your starter battery unless you're really watching it, but this is definitely a way to do it. Another great way to do it is by powering it off a portable power station. Now, I did have a chance to weigh the PT55. It came in at 44 pounds, and the 35 and 45 liter models will weigh a little bit less than that. Now, if you're interested in the exact dimensions of the internal zones or the dimensions at the outside, check out SetPower's website, setpowerusa.com, where they have the actual listing for this product. They have a couple illustrations breaking that all down.